Hi there, welcome back to What the Flick. Just Christy and Ben today. We've got some movie news for you now. Starting out with Evangeline Lilly. She was on a podcast recently and she said that she had done some nude scenes, some partial nude scenes when she was on Lost that she felt really uncomfortable with at the time, and she fought them and was overruled and forced to do them, and then she put her foot down and said, I am never doing this again. Well, now the producers of Lost have apologized to her. J.J. Abrams, Damon Lindelof, Jack Bender, Carlton Cuse are apologizing after she said that she felt cornered into filming a partially nude scene. She said, they say, our response to, is it Evie? Anyway, her comments in the media was to immediately reach out to her to profoundly apologize for the experience she detailed while working on Lost. We have not yet connected with her, but remain deeply and sincerely sorry. No person should ever feel unsafe at work, period. So.
Yeah, this is probably going to happen a little bit more,
right.
But this is good. This is the kind of thing that'll send a pretty clear message to all kinds of productions now that you can't sort of eat, and I suspect that those four guys, I don't know any of them, but I suspect that they might legitimately have had no idea that that's just part of doing business. And like the fact that she said she was trembling and crying afterwards, that, they just think, well, she's an actress, this is a network television show, it wasn't fully nude, right?
It was partially nude.
But you got to listen to your actors, right? And I guarantee you there was another way to shoot that scene and shoot that scene effectively.
Right. And still have the drama of it resonate.
That's right.
Or whatever.
Yeah, another way to shoot it
right.
right.
The emotion of it. Yeah, she says on this podcast, on the Lost Boys podcast, she said, in season 3, I had a bad experience on set with being basically cornered into doing a scene partially naked. And I felt I had no choice in the matter. I was mortified, I was trembling when it finished, I was crying my eyes out. I had to go on and do a very formidable, very strong scene afterward. So yeah, in theory, it should have been kind of clear in the moment that this was a traumatic experience for her, but as you say, like, they're plowing through, they're thinking, oh, and at this point, she did not have the clout that she has now, right? She was.
But then in season 4, she said there was another scene, they wanted to shoot her undressing, and she sort of drew the line and said, no, I won't do it. You can write it, but I'm not going to do it. But look, these are, and there are actresses who will do it, right? But from a production point of view and from a content point of view, right? If you're directing this episode, and she's left trembling and crying, forget the humanity of it, forget the decency of it, that you just got to, if she says no, that's really it, right? Get a double if you feel like you have to, pay some money, or just write it a different way. But if she's trembling and then has to do this strong scene thereafter, then she can't really deliver that scene, and then you're hurting your own production.
You're setting her up to fail,
That's
right? So she says that from that point on, she has never done a nude scene. She's avoided it altogether. So good
she's
for
a
her
really
for
good
taking a
actress.
stand.
So you were undermining her if you're leaving her in a weakened state like that.
Yeah, and she's great in something like AntMan and The Wasp, even. Yeah, she brings great subtlety to it. So yeah, so good for you, Evangeline Lilly. Moving on, we have some Christopher Robin news. We talked earlier in the show about how disappointingly it did at the box office this weekend. Apparently, it will never get any kind of release at all in China. And one theory is because President Xi feels really uncomfortable with the fact that people keep comparing him to Winnie the Pooh. There's your split screen. I don't know. Do you see it?
I don't even. Which one is which?
It's like looking in a mirror.
Yes.
Does he have a lot of little bitty half red shirts that he wears around the house we just don't know about? I don't know.
President Xi was on the left, by the way.
Oh, thank you. For those of you playing at home.
Yeah, so I mean, it seems, look, if there's a thing where the president is irritated by it and then they ban a movie that seems to have no reason to ban otherwise, right?
It seems pretty benign otherwise, yes.
It's not like it's not like it's a secret capitalist movie that undermines the communist state.
Yes, buy our teddy bears now.
It's just so.
They're probably made in China, by the way.
It's just so unbelievably silly.
Well, the other theory, the official theory though, is that it's not so much a personal thing that he's miffed about the Winnie the Pooh comparisons, but that there are only so many American films that can be released in China over a certain period of time, and there's no room for you, Winnie the Pooh. You're tiny and adorable and cuddly, but there's no room for you. So maybe it's just that.
So is this is Christopher Robin a victim of Trump's trade war?
Maybe. Tariffs. Yeah. Tariffs are great unless you're a stuffed bear. So so that will not come out there. But other movies like Mission Impossible Fallout which a lot of it takes, no, I'm sorry, Skyscraper, a lot of it takes place in Hong Kong. It all takes place in Hong Kong. That is opening in China.
Right, and they're not
Mission Impossible will open in China.
Yeah, they're not going to prevent Mission Impossible from opening in China. I mean, I suppose they can do whatever they want, but we know that'll do incredibly well.
Right. The only other Disney film this year to receive a no from China was A Wrinkle in Time. And Disney is opening AntMan and the Wasp in China on August 24th, where it will join Skyscraper and Mission Impossible Fallout. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, and also I didn't look it up. And how many in general does the Chinese? How many American films do they let in a year? By the way, I mean, it's funny.
Some.
But that is a trade issue. I mean, that's if you ideally you want every American movie open to the international marketplace, and that's the biggest one.
Right. I don't see why you would not want them all to be out there. But anyway, there's a quota. There's a foreign film quota that exists, and they have reached it. There's no room for you, Pooh.
How's Christopher Robin doing? We know at the box office we said it made, I think, 35 million or 25 million.
I can't remember.
But did we like it? Did it get good reviews?
It's at like 68% on the tomato meter. I didn't see it because I had various scheduling conflicts. I was traveling.
So, although I think that the Chinese market should be open to American films, I'm going to say that both Disney and the Chinese people will be fine without Christopher Robin.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's my bold statement.
And then a year ago, there were 34 movies a year, apparently, they get in China, American movies they get in China. So they've had 34. And so Christopher Robin would be number 35.
If that's the case, I mean, I don't like the quota, but that's a fine, you can draw the line of Christopher Robin.
There you go. Yeah. A movie that nobody can see with Movie Pass anymore, apparently, Christopher Robin. Who knows what's going on with Movie Pass these days, but they are changing their strategy yet again. If you watch our show, you know that like every single week there is some sort of Movie Pass update where they're having surge pricing, or they're saying that the first big weekend of a big blockbuster is gonna cost more, or you gotta wait a few weeks or whatever. Now they are changing course again. They're saying that they are now going to limit customers to 3 movies a month. So if you have Movie Pass, you can only watch 3 movies a month instead of it was like every single day you could have gone to the movies.
I've had one conversation in my life with someone who has Movie Pass.
Okay.
It's TYT's own John Idarola.
He uses it. Awesome.
And he explained to me that he would pay $10 a month, and he would go see 6 or 7 movies a month, right? And I thought, I can remember the conversation. We were standing in front of his desk.
Okay.
I said, well, those people are going to go out of business.
Right? And look at you.
Right. Look at me. Look at me. Prescient. Apparently, what they were counting on was that people didn't love movies as much. Obviously, what they're counting on is what happened to me and many other people with Hulu, for example, where until Handmaid's Tale came along, I had Hulu for 4 years and never watched it.
Okay.
I just paid them first $9.99 a month and then whatever, a little more, because I wanted to not be able to watch commercial free. If I was not going to watch, I didn't want any commercials. And so what Movie Pass was apparently looking for was that people would just sort of let it lapse and fork over just $9.99 a month and never go to a movie.
But they did.
Yeah, but they did, and so the company's been burning through cash.
Right, and so the previous changes that they had made, they are now undoing, and so they are going to keep the monthly subscription price at $9.99 instead of $14.99, and they are suspending surge pricing. So if you're angry about that, good for you. It's going to be gone soon. What they sometimes would add as much as $8 to the cost of a ticket, so you're not really saving any money that way. And the new plan will also include many major studio first-run film, which reverses a change last week from before that you couldn't see things. Anyway, let us know about your Movie Pass thoughts.